Cheers.
Hello. Welcome back. It's been a minute. Yeah.
No, and hasn't it been? I really feel like we have been off this, but I've never been more excited for an episode since the first one we did.
Literally same. I'm like, let me take a sip. I actually haven't had a sip yet.
I'm one glass in.
Not my favorite.
Nope.
You already a glass in?
Yeah.
Oh,
I had it while
nothing.
I was waiting for you to dry your hair.
I need to find a good wine. Nothing has been like hitting. If you have any, I love Pinot Grigio, but like, I don't want it to be too sweet where it tastes like juice, obviously. Mm-hmm. But I don't want it to be too. I don't really like it. If it's
the one I get
dry.
from Trader Joe's, I love.
Which one?
I don't know the name right off the bat, but I'll show it to you later.
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to Trader Joe's soon.
$2 Chuck.
Yeah. But yeah, we had a lot of technical difficulties per usual.
What's new?
I'm like, the election.
The election happened since we... Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I finally found, on Good Note, a pair of low-rise jeans. As you guys know, I've been on the prowl, on the hunt, and I found this pair from Cotton On. I'm obsessed. I've been wearing them literally every day. They're perfect. So 10 out of 10 recommend if you're looking for low-rise jeans.
Mm-hmm.
They have some good ones.
What have you been up to other than that?
Improv. Improv. I love it. Mm-hmm. Running.
That's it.
Dog.
Okay.
If you can hear in the background, my dog.
He does take up a lot of space and time.
Yeah.
Well,
love him though.
That we do. We're bonding, me and him.
Yes.
Slowly but surely. I'm sorry. I'm picturing is like
that he's tearing apart.
No,
he doesn't,
1000%. I'm picturing the worst.
Well, okay. I got him this new toy that it's like a ball with a sphere on it.
Oh, so it's running into a wall.
And he has to like push it.
Yeah.
To get the treats out. And he's usually so fine in my room, but for some reason when we just put him in there to record, he was like whining, which he never does. He literally never does. He's always silent as a mouse. So I was like, let me give this to him, but now I fear he's running into the walls. Hopefully you can't hear it. And hopefully my room's okay. We're going to find out.
Yeah.
But that will occupy him.
Well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
What else have you been up to?
I think he just doesn't like being in the room while I'm home, probably. He's probably like, okay, I get why I'm in the room when you're not home.
Well, it's my time now.
Yeah, but it's your time now.
It's my time now.
That
it? About it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anything else happen?
Yeah.
No.
Well, all right.
Wicked came out.
Listen. And I'm so fucking excited to talk about it because I really haven't. There's been like a few media-based things like occupying my mind Fork found in kitchen. But otherwise, I need to see it again immediately because
tonight.
I feel like I need to lock it. Like the first time I was so speechless. I do need to share a moment actually. If you are a random man that my friend Emma is sitting next to at the end of the movie, everybody's just sitting there, by the way. They were holding space for the lyrics of Defying Gravity. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So everybody's sitting there holding space, really soaking it in. And this man reaches over to Emma and just goes,
oh, I was trying to be the man. Okay,
and so she did it back.
Reenacted.
Yeah. It's a lovely moment.
I know I said I wasn't going to see it until I saw the musical, but I didn't realize there's 2 parts. So I'm like, okay, I can see the musical before I see part 2.
Well, and I feel like it did do such justice to it that like you are seeing the musical, but you also, I know when you go see the musical, it will be different. Like it's not going to be like, oh, I've already seen this.
Do you know what I mean? Can't compare to like being in a room.
Alive.
Like it's just
different. No, you can't.
You know. So.
I did learn today that John M. Chu, the director, who also directed In the Heights and Crazy Rich Asians, so I trust him with my life, also directed Never Say Never, the Justin Bieber movie.
Slay. Why are you shocked? I'm like, that is a phenomenal film.
Well, and of course he did.
Of course. Slay. No, but if we do an episode on it and like we do promo, like who's gonna be Glinda, who's gonna be Alpha? Because I fear we're both Glinda.
See, I feel that is true, but and I don't think this is a spoiler by any means. I think I can admit the flaw that I think I'm Glinda.
Okay.
And I mean, we can get more into it when we talk, but she is such a deeply flawed and such a complex character. Like truly, in my opinion, one of the most. And it kind of guts me that like so many people relate to Elphaba in the way that like they do feel so ostracized and they do feel so like limited by society and, you know, just like as an individual. And sometimes I feel like you don't feel ostracized, but you truly feel like you are such an individual. Do you know what I mean? Like
that's true.
That's true. The way you always not just talk about yourself, but like I see you as you are like you and you only. You know what I mean?
Okay, I see that.
So
sometimes
I'll
back after I watch.
Sometimes that's how I feel, and it isn't a pride thing that I'm like I've always connected to Glinda, but it is something I've unpacked to be like, how strange is it that even knowing this musical when I was a teenager, I stuck to the guns and was like, nope, I'm her, like from head to toe, all the good and all the bad. Like,
I mean, she's
bully, not,
so
fuck, she is not, and she's not a bully. I don't think by any means she's bully, but like,
but you know
she is a good person, I believe, at heart, but I do think she has her, like, I was a brown noser in high school.
Right.
I did anything I could to like cling to the most important person in the room. And that's like the number one thing you can observe her doing is being like, and who's going to help me get ahead?
Right.
And I have to admit that I've done it like all too often in my lifetime. You know what I mean?
Maybe
I do feel
I'll watch it and then I'll be able to report back.
I've always been my fear.
I like that watch also. That's cute.
Thank you.
I want to watch. We were talking about this.
Yeah, I said, do you want me to send you the brand of this one?
Yeah, but I want like, I mean, I would like a watch like that too, but I also want a dive watch. But it's the one I want is over $1,000. Oh, there's also another one that's like $500 that I like too. So, but I will not be getting that anytime
this
soon.
This one is nice and isn't gonna break anytime soon. But
yeah, that's nice.
Also, and can I just say the other thing occupying my brain? Wake up day and fucking night. Outer Banks.
Oh my God.
Has actually ruined my month. And I mean,
true.
Can you think about this? I was looking forward to it 2 days after the election. I was like, we're going to get part 2. It's going to save my week. I'm going to feel so much better post what just happened. And in fact, I felt worse. I have never been more down. And I feel horrible that we got my roommate's boyfriend invested. He just finished season 2 last night. And by the way, was jaw dropped the whole time because it's an incredible episode. But like, I feel terrible that he's invested because like, what have I done? What have I done?
Like, we can get in. There's so many things to unpack.
That's a topic in itself because like
because I have a lot to say. I was
You were what?
I just was disappointed.
Disappointed is fair.
Because for a lot of reasons, but I mean, it's hard. Like, nothing will beat season 1. It was just came out again. I said this before, at the perfect time. Like,
I'm going to shut my laptop after season 1 from here on out.
And like the vibes were just better because it wasn't so complicated. And it's like, that's, I think what's hard about a lot of series.
The stakes were low.
Right. But like a lot of series, it's like if you don't have I mean, maybe they had a clear vision from day one where this was going, but it's just like hard after.
Pour one out for my boy.
It just kind of feels like the same thing is happening, but a little bit different, you know?
Here's to him.
You know, yeah.
May he rest in peace.
Season 1 vibes were just immaculate. Because there was like the innocence of them just being kids, which you don't get to see.
We don't see that anymore.
Really
we got the one scene of them being like a family and cooking and praying.
Yeah.
And I was like, where was that?
Right. So, which I get, like, it's hard because, again, with shows like this, it's like once that barrier's like broken, it's not really logical to go back because whatever, but it's still, So anyways,
I will say I more or less feel bad. I am excited for season 5 in the way that I do think so many people acted their ass off for season 4.
Yeah.
And I fear because of like what happened to the plot got mad overlooked.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like some people
there was good performances for sure.
Ate down. And I'm excited for certain plot lines that I'm like, ooh, why would you write this one? Because now I can't focus on that. And I want to focus on that so badly. But now I have to spend time doing this and I'm sorry. That's how I feel.
Exactly.
I wanted to tell you the cool moment that I had the other day. Yes. Oh, first of all, my best friend moved away. So it's actually, this has been the worst month.
Rip. That is sad.
She's in Texas right now. She's in Shamrock, Texas.
That's so cute.
Yeah. But while I was at my work the other day, so she'll never say this. Nia Vardolos from my Big Fat Greek Wedding is a regular.
Right.
I would consider her regular. And she was kind of the first person to give me like the time of day.
Right. I remember.
When I first moved to LA, which was really cool. And she came in the other day in the morning there was a like a group of ladies lunching, and I was eavesdropping their conversation because they were so fucking obnoxious. I had no other choice. And they were talking about her, and they were like, oh, I love her. And all I could think in the moment was, how funny would it be if she walked in? She didn't, but she did walk in later in the day.
Okay.
She was explaining to me and my coworker, and I mean, we were just listening to her because how cool. And she's a very authentic person. You can just tell. Mm-hmm. And she was like, and my daughter always says, why do you get so shocked? And she's like, because it doesn't happen. Like, it won't happen for weeks. And then it'll randomly happen. And I get very like, whoa, that happens. And then she told us the story how she was like, she said how that came to be. I didn't have a job in LA for 4 years and in the industry, and I didn't know what to do. So I decided to write a project for myself, that being My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and nobody would read it. And so she thought to do a staged reading. So she did. And Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson were in the audience.
Whoa.
And like, as La La Land said, someone in the crowd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so they were like, this has to be a movie. She was like, that's the dream. But she just wanted to be a bridesmaid. She just wanted to be a cousin.
Okay.
And then nobody was like, reading it. And they were like, well, what if we made you the bride? And so she said that, and that was that.
Oh my God.
And so I was turning around, and then I said, actually, that really helped me. Thank you for telling me that. And she was like, how long ago did you move? I said, 2 years. She was like, do you want to be a writer? And I said, I really, really want to be a writer.
Yeah.
And she looked at me and she goes, it is so easy to write what you think someone is going to buy. Mm-hmm. To think like, what is selling right now? What do people want to see on the screen? Don't write that.
No, it's yeah.
Right? And it does sound like common sense, but I'm
true.
looking her dead in the eyes, and it like sounds different. You know what I mean?
That is different.
Yeah, it sounds different coming from her, because I'm like, you just told me the story about you doing that exact same thing and it working. So she was like, write what you personally want to do, not you as a group, not you as whatever you want to do. And then she goes, and we need more women in the WGA. Aww. And I said, I would love to be in the WGA. So and she goes, cute. No, seriously, we need more women in the WGA. And then she goes, and I'm going to sprinkle pixie dust over you right now.
Stop. That's adorable.
Are you kidding?
No, that's really special. That's so sweet.
I swear, I don't know how to describe it. Not like as dramatic as like shifted a timeline, but I went out to bus a table, and when I walked back in, I literally went, what the fuck am I doing? Yeah. I was like, what am I doing? Seriously, what am I doing? I don't know what she said. It felt like when I turned 25, and you'll get it and you'll report back. Swear I woke up one day. Maybe I made a decision differently. Maybe I just like took a wrong turn, took a right turn. I was like, oh, my frontal lobe is formed. I remember it happening. Mm-hmm. And it felt like that. Wow. It was, I don't know it sounds cheesy. No, but I was like, true, what a cool moment that this woman
it's true. Like,
took the time out of her day to be like I support you and I believe in you. And like, she does not fucking remember me, but like, she's clearly made an impact in my life already multiple fucking times. Yeah. So ideally, I get to thank her one day.
No, it's true. I mean, whenever like, sometimes I'll like, I've only been here almost a year, but like, I'll be like, oh, I'm so overwhelmed. Like, I don't feel like that spark. And then like, I'll go back and read, like, this is silly, but on like that video I made, I'll read the comments. Or I have like a notebook, I was telling you the other day, of like compliments people have given me. And a lot of them are like, not just like, they're not like, oh, you look pretty. It's like either about me as a person, or like my performance or whatever.
Your ethic.
Yeah. And so I read those, and it's always like a shift. I'm like, oh my God, something like wakes in me, and I'm like, time to get to work. Like, so I can't imagine having that from, someone who's like in the industry. It's just always rewarding and really like reassuring that, okay, they were a no one, once too, and they just like did the thing. You just have to do it. And it's true, because I think it carries over to acting, because I think a lot of people, like, even when you're doing like a self-tape and stuff, like they try to do what they think the casting directors want to see. And I'm not like a professional actor,
Look at us.
Look at me.
This
right
is
now.
a step stool holding two wine glasses.
But even from my experience doing a few things and like talking to people who have done things, like it is true. Like when you, and I've just heard on podcasts, I can't remember who it was. I don't remember if it was the person, I can't remember what it was for, but it was a big movie, and they were talking about how someone came in, they had like a perfect vision of what they wanted the role to be, and someone came in and was like not that at all, but it changed their mind because that's how they did it, and they were like, wait, actually that's more interesting. So it's true, like you should always just stick to like who you are as a person. It's always going to be infinitely better than you trying to imitate, you know, what you think others want you to be like. So yeah.
Look at us.
So deep.
Fueled by Pinot Grigio. And I'll tell you what, since she gave me advice, pull them up.
Oh, yeah.
Let's give some advice ourselves.
I am so excited for this episode. Oh, my God. Thank you to all who wrote in.
So many of you wrote in.
I was so scared.
Many of you.
I was very scared that there was going to be like quite literally one reply.
We both just sat up.
And I checked, like I went to bed and then I checked and I was like, oh my God, like people actually responded.
And I've A, never heard them. B, my mom has never listened to this. But I told her, if you wanted to ask me anything, now's the time. Or just like, I'm scared nobody will write in fake a question. So I will be thinking that every single one of these is my mother.
Well, I don't know if we're going to have time to do all of them. So, but I'll let you read all of them
Two parts is great.
But I'm like, the thing is I'm like, where do I want to start? There's some juicy ones. There's some like light ones.
Softball? Can you throw me a softball?
Like a small one?
Yeah.
Okay, how do I stop my Taco Bell addiction?
Don't.
Exactly. Like, what is wrong with Taco Bell? Like, it is good for your bank account.
It's not the worst fast food.
It's not the worst. I feel like
they
there
debunked
are
that.
Better. Yeah, and you can also, like, I feel like get some healthier options there than
the
other
chicken
things.
Cantina line that they released.
Are you sure?
I've been eating that.
It's healthier? Are you sure? You told me that, but I don't think it's... I feel like I looked it up. And
this feels like you're about to, like, McDonald's salad me.
No, I'm not, but...
I got it because, like... trying to like eat less carbs, drinking my wine, trying to eat less carbs, I was like, oh, I'll get that bowl. And since I don't eat meat, I just like, it's like a veggie bowl. Do you know what I mean?
That's good. The bowl,
you know what I mean?
I get the like chicken cantina quesadilla. It's like, okay, it's probably not good for me.
Sure.
But it's good for your bank account.
Like the
it's good
veggie
for your
bowl.
mental health.
A potato taco is not bad.
Yeah, I saw potato taco. That's what I always get. Like, it's not hurting anyone.
Also, I feel, call me crazy, Taco Bell fuels a culture of like,
it does.
There is nothing better to me. Weren't we out and you look at me and we're dancing? And I remember this so vividly. You look at me and you go, I'm so excited for Taco Bell later.
Probably. I don't remember that, but
because
probably.
What I always do at a night out, and you can always count on me, I'm ordering Taco Bell to the door.
Right.
It's there when we walk up.
Or I make someone get me Taco Bell.
It's
like if
everything
I can't
to
drive,
me.
I make someone drive and get me
I'm
Taco
sorry.
Bell.
You don't stop it. Embrace it.
I got my... And I was at a college party once, and somebody who shall not be named was picking me up, and I had a few drinks, you know. So I was like, take me to Taco Bell right now, and they were like, no, I'm taking you home, and I was like,
oh, I'd be pissed.
I got so like, I was like, no, take me to Taco Bell right now, and they like got so mad at me later. I was like, that was so rude, and I was like, honestly, like, can you blame me? Like, what can you say? I have always said that
don't care.
After a night out, the thing I look forward to most is my Taco Bell. So when that's taken from me, like,
how dare you?
How dare?
And we need space.
Exactly. So
okay.
Yeah, long story short, don't. Okay.
Right.
Let's get into a long one. Okay. Ooh, okay. I know my boyfriend cares about me lately. He'll keep ditching our plans to take care of personal things like cleaning his room, so we can't hang out. I don't think he's lying to me, but he used to do all that stuff when I was there too. Like, I understand space and personal time, and I'm trying to get into a routine without seeing him every day, but how do I not take it so personally when he needs space? Like, I get so butthurt, it's not okay. I'm so excited to answer this. Okay. Also, he used to drop anything to spend time with me, like he would have never done this in the beginning. We've been together a little bit more than a year now, but please help. I feel crazy. Let me just say, girl, I've been there. And I don't necessarily think I don't think it means that anything's like wrong in the relationship. Like, I wouldn't say just based off of that he's like losing interest or anything. Now, if that was like paired with other things, then maybe that could be like a cause for concern. But I don't think just him wanting a little bit of space is anything bad, because I used to be the same way in my last relationship, and the relationship I'm in now, especially at the beginning, I was like wanting to see him every single day. Like I called him constantly. I was like always texting, like very much like, oh, like why? Like if you have time to hang out, like why don't you want to hang out? Like I don't understand, like whatever. And I would get so butthurt if he said that he couldn't hang out. Like literally I would take it so personally, and I knew that I was like being crazy, but I still couldn't help that I felt that way. And I just had to like force myself to find my independence back and like plan things for when, you know, like he was busy, like make sure that my schedule was like full so that I had other things to do to distract myself that didn't involve him, so that he had time and space like to be by himself. And it honestly, like in the relationship I am now, like has helped it so much. Yeah. And because I do think guys are, this is a very blanket statement, okay, I think men are a lot of times they're different than women, and just like generally, okay, and I think that a lot of men need more time to be alone than I feel like more women do, typically, not always the case. And I think that men really, like when they're away from you, it's just like necessary for them, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So yeah, all that being said, I get you, girl, but like it will help you so much. And like I think it would flourish your relationship if you just realize like he just does need, some people just need space, and then when you come together, like he will be in a better mood too, because he was able to like have his space alone, and you were able to go do something either with a friend or like go take yourself to Target and like go shopping or something like that. Like just, yeah. Does that make sense?
No, it definitely does. And I think like it's interesting to hear you talk about it, because I, as a single man hater,
yeah,
very happy by myself person, it's interesting because I like, obviously I've got my sweatshirt that I rock, like I want to be like, dump him,
right?
But I see 100% where you're coming from, because I think that I'm a Cancer. I'm fueled by my emotions.
Think about it, if it was a girl.
No, I know.
Girl, yeah.
That's what I'm saying is I have always said like, oh God, me in a relationship, like I really do dedicate 100% of my time to the other person. And it ends up, and it has suffocated them in the past.
Right.
And so I've like tried to work better on that. And by no means do I think that it automatically equals suffocation every single time that like happens to a person. Do you know what I mean? But I do think like, I love my space so much, and only because you listed like cleaning the room as a specific detail, I think that people have certain tendencies that they think of as sacred. And even when it comes to men, first of all, you're so lucky that your man is cleaning his room.
Yeah.
Holy
so true.
shit.
Like, so
count
true.
your blessings, baby girl.
So true.
But like sometimes people just need that to like decompress, and it has truly nothing to do with you. Like I hate to say it because it sounds like it's being like, it's not that deep, it's not about you, but it's not. Like same way that you might sometimes be like, I actually need to do this drive alone.
Right.
When I go to Target and I have somebody talking in my side seat, I actually prefer a silent drive to Target with my music. Mm-hmm. I don't want to have a conversation. Like there are just little things here and there, and I think that it comes with communication and being like, that those times that you want to be by yourself are those like specific places, are those specific like times, like you like to clean by yourself, you like to cook by yourself, do you like to, you know,
right?
So I think that it's always coming back to communication, you know what I mean? But if it gets to a certain point that you are panicked, no fear in asking,
right?
Literally none, because if you've been together over a year, baby, ask way, and most likely he's just gonna be like, I just want to clean my room with my music on,
right? And that's like, and again, I can see how it would be triggering.
Same
with like, if he didn't used to be that way, because that's how my last relationship was. And then when that shift happened, but there was also like many other things, so don't fret. There's many other things coupled with like him not wanting to hang out as much that caused concern.
Yeah, the weird avoidance is where it can start. And also like women's intuition is true. So like if your gut is telling you something, run with it. I'm so serious, run with it. Don't put it off.
But also just try and see, because it does get easier. Like it really does with like having that space, because again, I remember my boyfriend and I now, like we had to have like a conversation where he was like, I can't see you every day. I'm sorry. Like I cannot hang out every day. because we live like 30 minutes away. And he's like, I work a lot, like you work a lot, like I can't do that. And at first I was like, okay, well, like how often can you see me? He's like, I don't even know if like we can hang out every other day. And I remember being like so like taken aback at first.
What?
I mean, like, what? Like, how am I gonna get through this? Like, later if I don't see him like every day, I get like I miss him. But now like we'll go a few days without seeing each other, and it's we'll still like talk. It's not like I don't hear from him for 3 days.
Distance makes the heart grow fonder, does it not?
No, it does. And like, and it's gotten easier now. Like, I love that I have other time to like, again, hang out with my friends more and like go do things for me. And so it does get easier. You just gotta like just embrace it.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah. Okay, that was good. That
Love
was a fun
you.
one.
Good luck.
Yes, good luck. I'm like, keep us updated, everyone. I want to hear updates.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe an asshole dump him.
Ooh. Okay. Have you guys had to navigate any drama in the workplace? If so, how do you go about it? Recently dealing with a coworker and a boss who make it clear they aren't a fan of me. And there's one that can pair with this.
Is this my coworker?
This one says, how do you deal with someone who is extremely condescending to you at work, but who seems to genuinely have a good heart? I feel like those are both like workplace things. So I guess like first of all, coworkers not liking you, dealing with workplace drama, and then a coworker who, what did it say?
Is this my coworker? Did you write this in? Is this about me? Is this fucking play about us?
Oh my god. Yeah, who's condescending but seems to have a good heart.
So, first of all, drink, because woof.
I know.
Second of all, yeah, play catch up. Okay, as somebody currently, I hate it. I hate saying that. Currently dealing with drama in the workplace. Let me make it clear. Not at the one place I work, baby. Never. Never. Yeah. We keep that locked down and we don't let it affect. But at one of my workplaces, I definitely can let it get to me, and it happens a little too much just because like people have been there for too long, and like change makes people feel fucking weird. And I think I remember specifically like feeling a lot of hostility when I moved to like upper management, which I've since moved down. But when I moved to upper management, it was a lot of like, she's only been here a year. And then I'm like, oh my God, again, I'm brown nosing. Yeah. I brown nosed my way up here. Like I am just this ambitious little fuck who will like, I think my overall thing is, I promise you, the person who's being condescending also is freaking out.
Right. So I would just like talk to them genuinely and be like,
1000%, because at the end of the day, this is your workplace. Right. And that's something that I've come to realize lately with like drama happening. I don't know why. I just had a moment where I was like, why the fuck am I letting this? I'm clocking in. Like we are clocking in. Yeah. Why am I letting it affect how I'm greeting tables? Why am I letting it affect like my anxiety walking in the building when we're both here to do a job?
Yeah.
So why are we bringing any kind of personal feeling into it? And it was just kind of weird to like learn how to detach it. But the second that I kind of put it aside, I got like one too many texts from other coworkers being like, I got your back, girl. And I was like, this shouldn't be happening. Like this isn't what work is supposed to be. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to address that coworker with like professionalism. It's a workplace. Like, why not take the high road? It's just a part of your day. So it's not your outside life. Don't let it be part of your outside life. Do you know what I mean?
And like, it's just like, especially if they seem to have a good heart, like maybe they don't realize they're being like condescending, and just be like, hey, like sometimes when you say things like this, it makes me feel like this, whatever. And I hate confrontation so much. So I understand, but sometimes that's what needs to happen, because sometimes it's like two people are thinking different things, and then or thinking the same thing but think each other are thinking different things, and when you just get out in the open, you realize we're on the same page. And also I can speak to having coworkers not like you. I don't like confrontation, so my personal thing, I just keep my head down, and I just show, because a lot of times, the 2 times that it's happened, I'm gonna call her out in a second, but I'm like, I knew it's because these people didn't really know who I was and made like assumptions, and I was like, they don't really know me, and so like I'm just gonna, this is so cheesy, but like kill them with kindness, and like continue to be me, and like go out of my way to be like extra annoyingly nice, but like I'm just gonna be nice to them, and like I'm just gonna not cause any problems and keep being me, and like over time they will see, you know, who you are. Yeah. Because to speak to this, when I worked at this one place, one of my best friends, she did not like me when I first started working there. I knew she did not like me. I feel like I
know who. I'm so intrigued to find out who. Yeah,
she did not like me. She did not like me. Her and my other coworker Cheyenne, they thought like when I walked in for my interview that I was annoying. And and they did not like me, and I could tell. And I was like, I know that she would like me. And I remember we had to like road trip somewhere for like sort of a work thing, and like we just bonded because she actually got to see who I was, and we realized we actually liked each other, and now we're like besties. So
yeah. Well, and you can't have like I'm obsessed with that. She came to visit you, but like,
yeah, I mean,
a road trip's not always on the table. So
well, no, but also like my other situation, I just like be nice, and it does help.
Be nice. One of my favorite coworkers, who is such an absolute diva and an icon, was a tough cookie when I first met him. Like truly a tough cookie, impenetrable shell, like an absolute bitch to me. And let me tell you something. Later. It's Nestor.
Oh, okay.
I matched that fucking king on his level, okay? And I thought he was being mean to me for so long until I was like, I'm going to throw it back. Obviously, that doesn't work in every situation and can be like messier. So like tread lightly. But it's your workplace. It's your workplace, not just their workplace. And sometimes it's their issue that they're projecting onto you. It's your workplace. Those are your hours. Like you have control of that space. It's your space. Don't let somebody shit on it.
Good. That was good. Okay. Next. Okay.
It was a little Mrs. Gulch.
Okay. Okay. So, basically, I met this girl on a dating app, and we talked for a couple of weeks before linking. Does that mean? Okay.
Yeah.
Through talking, I found out we grew up in a similar area and actually have a lot in common. We were both shocked by how similar we were, and we were really excited to meet up in person. Wait.
Yeah.
But then before link, it just means like getting together.
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I thought that was like a code for like hooking up.
No, baby.
Okay. Eventually, we agreed to go on a date and meet up at a restaurant downtown. When she got there, she began talking and getting into our personal lives. She mentioned how when she was little, her grandma Ellie died, and it really hurt her. She said it happened 11 years ago. This was really strange to me because I also had a grandma Ellie that died 11 years ago. After I said this, we looked at each other kind of strange, and I couldn't believe what was happening. So I asked to see the picture of her grandma. She pulled out her phone and showed me a family picture that I was in. We found out we're third cousins on our first date. We didn't do anything after we found out, but she has been texting me saying that she doesn't care and still wants to hook up. Do I go through it with that, or is that some Alabama shit? Let me know.
Let's say it at the same time. That's Alabama shit. Oh, holy fuck.
I'm also like,
what?
Okay, wait. What would be your third cousin? What would be your third? What is your third cousin? Like your cousin's cousin's cousin? I don't know that I would do it, but also like your cousin's cousin's cousin. It doesn't seem like
the word cousin is being involved. The word like cousin is coming out of your mouth.
Everyone is like cousins at some point.
Not really. Yes, but not really.
What is a third cousin?
Third is a crazy. I love you, whoever you are. This is a crazy story, and please tell it to everyone. Third?
I don't know any third cousins.
My niece, the one I talk about,
she's not your third cousin.
She's my second cousin's daughter.
Oh, okay.
That's how close that is.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
If you were in the same family photo.
Well, okay, that's true. That's true. If you were in the same family photo,
the word cousin is coming out of your mouth.
I know, but I'm like, third cousin, like, yeah, okay, that's probably bad. I was just...
No.
I don't.
With all respect.
It's also like for my family, I don't even know any of my second cousins. So to me, it's like, okay, it would be a stranger to me, but
as someone with a giant family that they're all about to get together on Thursday.
No. Okay.
That means it's somebody in the room.
That is crazy.
No, baby. No. Cut it off.
That's true.
And also,
that's true.
You should
family
probably,
reunions.
that's like your second aunt that you need to reach out to and say, your daughter's got some shit going on. No.
Yeah.
Cut it off. Respectfully cut it off. Give it a little like, hold down the message and go, ha ha. Don't encourage that.
Yeah.
But you live one crazy fucking life, and you do need to tell people about that, because wow.
Yeah.
That's a story.
That is a story. Okay. Do you think I'll have any luck meeting someone at a bar or coffee shop if I go by myself? I want to try it so bad, but I just get impatient. I don't know if it's worth it. Will guys come up to me if I'm alone at a coffee shop or a cocktail bar? Help. Obviously, I've had guys approach me when I'm out like partying with friends, but I'm going for more of a dive bar or low-key vibe like coffee.
Okay.
I don't know if someone's going to approach you. I feel like at a coffee shop, that doesn't happen. Like, yeah, going out, like you said, that's going to happen. Yeah. But like, well, she's saying even at a dive bar. That could happen, yeah. But I think, like, go up to someone. Like, who cares? If you want, like, you can't just sit around and wait for people to come up to you because, unfortunately, we live in a world where that doesn't really happen all that much.
It's true.
And a lot of people that come up to you are weirdos.
Well, and that's what I was going to say.
One thing and one thing only, unless that's what you also want. If you want, like, a real connection, like, you might just have to go up to somebody.
I was going to say, I feel like you need to flip the script because... And as somebody who errs on the side of caution, most of the people who are going to see you sitting alone, I'm going to immediately go, predator. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be like, they saw you sitting alone. Okay. And they thought, I can get that girl.
Yeah.
So I, like, obviously jump to the negative. But I do absolutely agree that I think you should approach people. If you're there alone, don't Wattpad it. Like,
yeah.
I love the idea so much. And I'm also such a hopeless romantic to be the girl who brought a book, you know, the girl who brought the book to the bar. I love the idea of it. I don't remember the last time it ever happened in real life. So I think that you're right. I think approaching somebody in person, it's also hotter.
True.
It's so fucking hot. And also, you don't have to go, it's great to go alone, but like truly, we know I do stuff alone all the time, but like if I'm going to a bar or anything, I also just do want to err on the side of caution. You should probably be with a friend.
But also, here's the thing. I don't think a coffee shop like is the vibe. If you want people to come up to you, you need to go to more of a social setting. Like, honestly, the dog park. If you have a dog. No, I've met obviously I'm not like romantically.
Most people our age don't have dogs.
It depends where you live. So many people in LA have dogs. A lot of people do. I feel like. Okay, well, that's I think some people, yeah. Like, I met this guy, Logan. He was so nice. We met at the dog park, and like, it was just so refreshing. Obviously, like, it wasn't romantic or anything, but like, it was just nice to talk to somebody that I didn't know, and we just were like, oh my god, like, here's your life story, here's my life story, and I was like, this, and like, so I met so many people, like this one lady who, she like comes to the dog park every week and I always see her, and like she was like so nice, and she was like, if you ever need anything, like you can go to my website and like message me there, and like I know like all the cheaper, like more affordable pet care options and all this stuff. So like I don't know, that's more of like, I feel like a place.
I like where you're going.
You know what I'm saying?
I would say
the coffee shop is so like people go there to be alone and not to be bothered.
Yes, we're leaning into the idea, and I like this, of third spaces. So we've lost the idea of third spaces as a society. I could go on this forever, but the other day and we're both doing that. I did this, I did that. We need to focus it back up on the person, okay? But you need to be fucking around and finding out in random locations, because I saw a girl in the Target the other day deciding between two books, one of them being The Patient, one of them being Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I was like, she looks cute as fuck. Like, I would love to take her out. Did I say that? No. But did I very slowly go up to her and I was like, you should read that book? And we had a little interaction, and it was fucking lovely.
Yeah.
And like, for the right person, that leads somewhere.
Right.
But having more social connection, I think, is where your head is at. You've just narrowed it down to two spaces. Expand that.
Yeah.
Into everyday spaces, because everyone else around you has also narrowed it down to coffee and bars. And so we're like totally negating all of the other locations that this could be happening in. So I'm going to say keep the attitude, broaden your scope of location.
True. I like that. Okay. I killed my plant. Do I buy a new one? Buy a fake one. Help. You can.
Mama.
I have a fake.
I have so many plants. And unfortunately, I just went through a period where a lot of them died, and I'm really struggling with it. If you're a plant lover, you get the attachment to plants. I literally have a dead one that I'm pretty sure needs to go. I can't get rid of her because I named her Matilda after Harry Styles' song. You're telling me I have to throw away a plant that feels abandoned by everyone? I'd rather throw myself away. Replace the plant.
With a real plant?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give it another shot. Don't give up on yourself. You've got it.
Okay.
You've got a green thumb. It truly might be there are so many things that affect plants.
Get an easy plant.
There's so many things that affect plants in their environment. I am always going to recommend a philodendron. They are the most that you can like avoid watering while still thriving, and you still pay attention to them because they're beautiful. So I would recommend that plant specifically, but just double check when you buy your plants. Totally do your research. I've bought a lot of plants because they're pretty, but they don't thrive indoors, and we don't have a space for the outdoors. So then they die. Plant. So that's my bad. So I think that a snake plant is also a really good choice.
One. That's the only plant I have.
Yeah, I think that definitely don't give up on yourself. Give it another shot. Stick with an easy one. Go with an easy one right off the bat and give it a lot of love. Plants also love when you pet them because it stimulates wind.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good to know. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. My boyfriend and I have different definitions of cheating. What do you think constitutes cheating?
Oh, baby.
It's a loaded one.
Who's talking about it?
I know.
Me?
I'm like,
you?
I would love to hear your opinion though too.
Okay.
This is such a loaded question.
Ooh. Unfortunately, I just finished my wine, which either means I need more or I'm about to be unhinged as hell. All right.
I don't really like that wine.
Yeah, it's like a combination of like Chardonnay, which I know you don't like, so I'm a little confused why you bought that.
I was looking up good wines at Trader Joe's, and that one like sounded good based on the reviews.
You should next time look up good Pinot Grigio at Trader Joe's.
A lot of the Pinot Grigios were like very dry that I was looking up.
Okay.
So I did. Anyways.
Here's the thing. So it said like what essentially constitutes cheating.
Yeah. And then also like her and her boyfriend she said her and her boyfriend have different, or not her, I don't know if it's her, but
again, you're asking somebody who hasn't like been through the ringer in a long time, right?
Have you been cheated on?
Cheated on? No.
Cheater?
No.
Oh, okay.
However, was I told in person I'm going to window shop? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
While you were together?
Yeah.
Okay, so again, this goes down to then what constitutes cheating.
Right.
I think there is a gray area. Obviously, there's like the black and the white, but there is a gray area.
It depends on you as a person and you as a couple, your gray area. But in my opinion, I hate to say that it goes back to the Bill Clinton administration when they defined pornography.
No, it's true. You know it when you see it. You do. And
you do. And if you wrote that question, I love you so much. You wrote that into us, which means I know a part of your brain totally accepted it as is and that it was cheating. Whatever was said is cheating to you. That therefore encourages a conversation between you and your partner because that's cheating to you. Is it cheating to them is where the answer lies, because their answer is either going to be, oh my God, I didn't know I crossed that line, which should be their should be their response. But if they tell you like, that's not cheating, that's not that. A, if they're defensive, get the hell out of there. B, if they properly explain where they were coming from, then you guys,
here's my take.
Yeah.
If you have to ask, it's probably cheating.
That's crazy.
It's true. If you have
no, and I agree. I'm just saying you keep talking.
Well, I'm just saying also because you can say, well, if they explain themselves. No. Men are so good at lying. A guy told me in high school, guys are very good at being whatever you want them to be, like pretending. And it's true. And here's the thing is like, there's some things that are like a gray area. And it's like, if you have to ask, it's probably cheating. It doesn't mean like you have to break up with them, I guess. Like if it's something small like that, I like those gray areas, like whatever, but like emotionally cheating is still cheating. It's still cheating and it sucks. And as someone who that's happened to before, like they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Guys know what they're doing. Don't let them play dumb. Like, if they don't own up to it, honestly, in a way that's more of a red flag than like if they just were like, sorry, I did that was wrong, like I was cheating. If they're like, oh, I didn't know, like, what do you mean you didn't know? What do you mean? You're texting a girl, in my experience, texting a girl every single day, like sending smiley faces, being like, can't wait for you to hang out, like that. But how is that not cheating? Like, you know, that's my story.
I never want another person, but specifically women, because I, again, am always a girl first, but like, I never want a woman to have part of her story be like the Instagram caption of, we've been through the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. Why the fuck are you going through the lowest of lows? I'm so serious. Like, if you are telling yourself, is he cheating? Is this cheating? Honey, you deserve better. I will always think that there's someone better out there for every single one of my friends. There has rarely come a person into my friend's life where I've been like, you've passed, you're the one.
Yeah.
I will always fucking think that there is somebody better. And if you wrote that in, you deserve better.
Right.
You deserve somebody who is never going to make you question that, who like adores you and cherishes you and never puts like your conscience in that state of stress.
Right. And here, okay, this is going to open like such a big can of worms.
I know.
But here's the thing though. I think there are levels of cheating. I do. They're all wrong, right? But I think there's like obvious cheating, and then there's things that are still cheating, but like aren't as bad as obviously like going all the way with somebody. It's still hurtful.
You mean like texting?
Like texting. Like that's
to sex.
Yes. Yeah. Like it's still cheating. It's not like as bad as, you know, like fully going there. But, and like, I'm like, do I even want to get into this? I do think it's rare. It's rare. Let me preface. I do think people can change. It's rare. I actually saw a TikTok about this recently of a therapist talking about like harmful phrases that people say. And she did say once a cheater, always a cheater is harmful, because she's like, yes, but also like some people can change. And when we like say that somebody is their mistakes, that's really hard for that person, because like we aren't our mistakes, and like we can grow and we can change. However, like again, that's a very, 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 very rare occurrence, and most guys say they won't do it again, and they will. So just take that with that what you will. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say? Like,
no, it does.
Like,
I get it.
Once in a blue moon, there maybe
it's your silver lining side, and that's great.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, like, once, you know, something, again, on the scale of cheating, if something happens over here one time, I say, in my personal thing, again, it depends person to person. You have a different opinion on this. I think depending on the situation and the severity of it, it can be redeemable. Again, it's like, to me, you get like one little small, maybe questionable mess up, and then it's like, if it's anything like that ever happens again, it's like goodbye. Like clearly it's a pattern. But, you know, if the severity is like here, it's like, no, you don't get a second. And that's my opinion.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if you wrote it in, I feel like you just deserve better. Most people deserve better.
Well, yes, but whatever.
You've got this.
But do you know what
Go
I'm
with your
saying?
gut.
Like, I'm not.
I know.
Do you understand my thought process?
You've always explained your thought process.
You don't
to
agree
me.
with that? You think like if somebody, like if you were dating a girl and she like did something that was like kind of flirty with another girl, and she was like, I'm sorry, I did this, that was wrong of me, it will never happen again, would you?
If you're saying it's in person at a bar and I went, what the fuck? Like, you just flirted with that person and we had a chat, fine. But I don't know. I'm too fucking old already for this. Like,
but would you I'm not saying you 100% you would, but you
knowing
wouldn't be,
me? Yeah, I'd probably let it go.
Okay, so then you can't you like, I'm saying,
did I say that with disgust?
Oh, okay, I know. But I'm saying I think there are instances where it's not like how you need to like dump them right away. Most of the time you should. I think I do believe, again, people can change, but it's a very small percentage of people and a very small percentage of situations. Because, again, as someone who was cheated on, said they wouldn't happen again, it happened again.
Sure. All right.
Anyways,
next.
Sorry.
We can fit in like one more or two. I know. I'm having a good time.
That one was just, I'm very passionate
I know.
about.
We gotta.
Okay. I'm feeling hopeless and defeated after the election. I'm terrified of the world we live in and my place in it. Do y'all have any inspiration or advice on how to deal with it?
Yeah, actually, I think. Like, let me lock in for a sec.
Okay.
Yeah. Genuinely, I too am feeling that, and really on like, I think as women, as queer people, like we don't know who sent that in, but clearly in some way you feel affected and you feel like you are one of the parties that's going to really be dealing with the difficulty of this. What I've reflected on myself, and I don't know where you live, it is of my belief, I currently live in a blue state, right? But I was raised in a red state. I was lucky to be raised in St. Louis, which does tend to lean more blue. California, crazy enough, leaned more red this election, which is really fascinating. And it's kind of shocking and surprising and all the things. I've only been here 2 years, but living in a blue state, I feel I might have recovered more quickly than either like some groups or some people living in red states. And I think it's because I personally have always found a lot of value in marching and rallies and speaking my voice. I don't know a life on this earth, me personally, that isn't using my voice for the better. And yeah, some people find that obnoxious, but those are the worst kind of people I could have in my life. And I really mean that. I recently had a conversation with my mom who was like, you know, you're cutting people out of your life. That's crazy. And I was like, you and I were raised with, she, you know, she's like, I have people in my life that believe like Republican things and probably voted for him. And I said, you know, and I know this conversation is like totally a crazy way to go, but like, let's talk about it. I said, you know, Mom, like you were raised in a different time with, I don't judge a lot of your friends. They're still really good people. Parties are so different these days. And like what a party used to be is currently not what it is on both sides. It is my job and my belief now to do what I can in my position as somebody who is a white gay woman. So of like one marginalized community, I can still get the fuck out there. I can still be on whatever lines. I can still march for whatever I possibly can. Consider moving to a place that makes you feel safe regardless, because living in California, I'm not going to say move to California and that's like full send, because California has its extreme flaws.
Yeah.
Like Missouri voted red, but did vote in an incredible like abortion rights thing. You know what I mean? So each state has their pro and their con. California, however, did vote blue, but voted no to abolishing slavery. So like this was a crazy fucking election. You know what I mean? Every state has its flaws, but if you feel safe and you feel like you can be more of a productive person in that state, consider it.
And I know
that's like crazy to say, just move. Do you know what I mean?
And I think even, you know, if you can't move,
yeah,
like obviously it's easy for me to say this as a white straight woman,
sure,
but like we will get through this. Like we've done it before, unfortunately. Like we'll do it again. Like there are so many people, like I feel like the media does a really good job of like making you think that you're alone, especially if you're living with surrounded by a bunch of people who don't believe the same things as you, like making you feel like you're alone and like that the worst is going to happen. But there are so many people that are with you and do see your side and do support you and will stand with you, that like not all of those people, like there's so many of us that like we're not going to let something crazy happen. Like I just know it in my bones. Like there's too many people like us to let, you know.
Well, and I also think that something to remind yourself of is there's a reason that you felt shock. There's a reason that you felt so much hope and then were shocked and then not so shocked, but shocked generally by the state of the events, because that many people in this country and out of the country were that outspoken and were showing that much support and were that vocal and were that encouraging. Like there is that many people out there. That's amazing.
Right.
It just so happens that some of the most hateful people got a stronger voice, and it sucks. It fucking sucks. But it also means protect your peace. And I really mean it. Like, for the next 4 years, if somebody around you who made that decision for themselves wants to start complaining, shut that. Don't fight it. Like, just stonewall. Look up stonewalling tactics. Look up any kind of tactic that makes you feel safe. I'm not fucking arguing with a person for the next 4 years. I'm not, because it's not my problem. I didn't do it. My problem is dealing with anybody who feels unsafe and marginalized from here on out. My problem is not the fact that you thought you could afford shit more and that didn't end up happening because you didn't know what a tariff was. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not my problem now. So we're not talking about that, you and me. I'm going to focus my energy on what I can help with, not with what is going to stress me out.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, that does make sense.
So just remind yourself that there's a reason there was so much hope.
And I think surround yourself with people who also see that, because again, like,
it's your life
alone, and there are it's our, like, this is our country. It's not just like, we're not a red country. Like, just because our president believes these things does not mean that's not what America is, in my opinion. Yeah. And like, we get to define that, not the effing like president. Yeah. So unfortunately, like, he does represent our country, but like, he doesn't. Sure. You know, like, the people do. The people do. There's hope.
There's hope.
It doesn't seem like it, but
you're probably already surrounded with your people. Don't feel afraid to lock that group in, babe. Yeah. Like, that's your people. And if it means that you avoid somebody for the next 4 years, some creepy uncle that makes you feel unsafe, fuck it. But for now, protect your peace.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're gonna have to do a part 2.
I know!
Also, I just want to circle back and say, I'm not a cheating sympathizer. I don't want to, I'm worried that it sounded like that. And trust me, as someone, again, who has been cheated on, it was actually so difficult and still affects me to this day. And I've trusted you still because of it. And it was terrible and horrible. And I would wish it upon not even my worst enemy.
I wouldn't,
because it was actually so confusing, and we can get into that another day. But
I can't believe that there were that many prompts that
I know we're gonna do a part 2.
I had so much fun.
Me too.
I feel like I'm closing a PBS segment of like,
I know.
I had so much fun with you today.
We're gonna keep it. The thing is open, so like we're gonna do a part 2 with the rest of the things, and if you still have something else you want more advice, or if you have an update, let us know.
Let us know. Please send it in. Mom, if you wrote that question, I hope that was the answer.
The election?
Any of them. Maybe it was any of them.
Well, thanks. This was fun.
Thank you guys so much. We had so much fun. I'm gonna polish off your wine.
I'm like flushed though from literally like 3 sips of wine.
This is mine now.
Okay. Word. Bye.